My beloved child, even as you hear these words, know that this is not a coincidence or a random choice. It is a divine appointment set before the foundations of the world. On heaven's sacred calendar, this moment was marked by my very hand, and you have been brought into it precisely to receive what I have prepared. I saw you when no one else did. I heard the silent cries of your heart as the world rushed past you. I am not a distant father or a lofty being who dwells in cold detachment, but I am the Lord your God near and tender, who stoops down from glory to gather each shattered piece of your soul and bind it together with my limitless love. My child, you may think the passing years have been filled with silence, with abandonment, with being forgotten. But I tell you the truth, every day you lived, every tear that fell, every breath of pain you could not put into words, none of it escaped my notice. As it is written in Psalm 56:8, I have counted every one of your tears and stored them in my bottle, for not a single sorrow of yours is meaningless. I know you once believed, once hoped, once placed your trust in things that seemed good, only to be met with closed doors and disappointment. You wondered if I had forgotten you, if your faith was in vain, if my promises were nothing more than passing wind. But oh, my child, if you could see with spiritual eyes, you would know, while you wept over delays, I was paving the way for breakthrough while you felt abandoned. I was preparing the finest seat for you at the banquet of grace. Like Joseph forgotten in prison, you feared your destiny had been lost. But in truth, it was in that very darkness that I laid the foundation for a throne. When you do not understand, remember that I am the Lord, Jehovah. I am still at work, though you cannot see, still speaking, though you cannot clearly hear, still loving you even when you question your own worth. My child, on this journey, I have allowed you to walk through fire not to burn you, but to refine you like gold in the furnace. I have led you through deserts not to abandon you, but to teach you that I am the wellspring of life. I did not perform the miracle sooner, because I knew your heart needed to be softened before it could carry the weight of the greater blessing. Just as Israel had to learn to depend on me daily in the wilderness, so too are you learning to live by faith, not by emotion. You believed the miracle would change your life, but I know it is the strength of your relationship with me that will sustain you beyond the miracle. Because I love you, I withhold no good thing, but I also do not give before you are ready. For I will not let the blessing become your burden. This is the season where I am awakening what has long slept within you. The dreams you thought had died, the hopes you buried, the desires you pushed aside out of disappointment, I am breathing new life into them. Just as Ezekiel, my servant, saw in a vision a valley of dry bones, and I commanded him to prophesy, so he did. And the bones came together, the flesh covered them, the breath entered them, and a mighty army arose. So it is with you. Hear my words. For I am resurrecting what was dead within your heart, not by human strength, not by wisdom or striving, but by my Spirit. There will come a restoration beyond what you could imagine. I speak to you today not merely to comfort, but to awaken, not to soothe your pain, but to shatter your chains, not to keep you in safety, but to call you forth into the purpose I etched into your soul before the foundation of the earth. Know this, you are not a mistake, and you were not placed on this earth just to survive. You are not forgotten in the crowd. You are my masterpiece, fearfully and wonderfully made, anointed for a purpose. called to carry light into the darkest places. My child, this is the hour when I declare, your season has come. Delay no longer holds you. Fear no longer rules you. Darkness no longer binds you. My light is illuminating your path, and I am sending angels ahead of you to prepare the way. My dear child, as I gaze upon your soul in this moment, I see a flame once small now stirring powerfully once more, not by your own strength, but by the touch of my spirit, in the place where only ashes of old hopes remained. I am breathing life to rekindle the torch of faith that seemed extinguished. You have walked faithfully for many years without seeing clear fruit. You have offered your heart in silence and perseverance, even when no one acknowledged it. But my child, what you have sown in tears, you will now reap in joy. The scriptures declare, those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. Salma 26:5. Not a single act of obedience from you has been forgotten. I have recorded everything. I remember each time you gave up comfort to pursue what was right. And for that reason, your season of lifting is drawing near. I know the voices in your mind once screamed loudly, condemnation, doubt, and the judgments of others all tried to choke your tender faith. There were nights you couldn't sleep, haunted by the echoes of those painful words. But I say this to you now, it is time to stop listening to the voices of the world and to begin discerning mine. For I am the good shepherd, and my sheep know my voice. Not every sound is to be trusted. Not every word spoken is from my spirit. Therefore, you must learn to be still, amidst the noise to recognize my whisper. When you choose to hear me above the voice of the enemy, you will enter into a peace that surpasses all understanding. My beloved, you have been wounded by disappointments you dared not share with anyone. You have carried burdens so long they've woven themselves into your very breath. But today, I am coming to you as a gentle father to untie the invisible cords you've worn for too long, not with thunder, nor with storms, but with the gentleness of enduring love. I do not come to condemn, nor to expose your frailty. I come to heal, to restore, to rebuild what has been broken. As a potter does not discard a cracked vessel, but reshapes the clay into a more beautiful form, so am I reshaping your life with my own hands of grace. You thought your life was reduced to fragments, but I see potential in every fracture, and through those very places of weakness, my light will shine. You no longer need to strain to be strong. You no longer need to prove anything. Before me, you are allowed to be weak. Before me, you may sigh, weep, and let your heart break. For it is in those very moments that my power is made perfect. The Apostle Paul once wrote, "When I am weak, then I am strong." 2 Corinthians 12:10. You thought strength meant never falling. But true strength is rising again after each stumble, returning to me even in the midst of questions, and continuing to believe even when nothing is visible. I treasure that kind of faithfulness. I honor the imperfect heart that still chooses to walk with me. My child, there are promises I have spoken over your life that have yet to come to pass. There are prophecies you once received with joy, only to later grow disheartened as the years slipped by with seemingly no change. But my child, remember Abraham, who waited many years to receive the promised son. Remember David, anointed by Samuel as king in his youth, yet spent years hiding in caves before he ever sat on the throne. Time does not destroy. My promise is it prepares your heart to carry them in fullness when they arrive. I am not a man that I should regret. When I have spoken, my word will not return void. It will accomplish the purpose for which I sent it. So do not mistake delay for forgetfulness. Do not see waiting as abandonment. In truth, the closer the fulfillment comes, the fiercer the battle becomes. But it is in this very tension that your faith is growing stronger. I see that you are weary. I see that you want to give up, to stop hoping, to pause because you've tried so many times and still see no result. But my child, if you let go now, you will be giving up at the threshold of breakthrough. Do not quit when you're only one step away. Do not turn back when the door is about to open. Do not stay silent when I am calling you to declare your faith. For when you speak, when you act, when you choose to believe, even without feeling anything, that is when heaven begins to move. Remember my people when they marched around the walls of Jericho. For 6 days they saw nothing. But on the seventh day, when they shouted at my command, the walls came down. So too for you continue in obedience. For miracles do not always come through emotion, but through unwavering faith. I want you to understand that my presence is not merely a fleeting comfort, it is a living reality. Not just in churches, not just in sacred moments or in gatherings, but in every breath of your daily life. I am nearer to you than ever before. You once thought I was only present when you were praying or praising, but the truth is, I have walked beside you while you washed the dishes, while you walked down empty streets, while you lay in bed with tears soaking your pillow. Every moment that seems ordinary is an opportunity for me to show you my extraordinary love. For I am not only the mighty Creator, I am also your Father, who knows every hair on your head. There are moments when you cry out, Lord, I don't feel you. But my child, true love is not always built on feeling, just as the sun remains behind thick clouds. I am present even when your heart cannot perceive me. True faith does not rise from emotional highs, but from steady trust in the absence of sensation. Like the farmer who continues to sow seed without seeing an immediate harvest, I am calling you to remain faithful in the silence. For some miracles do not erupt with noise, but grow quietly like roots deepening in the soil. And when those roots are strong, the tree will blossom and bear fruit in due season, and no one can stop it. My child, you believe you are not enough, not holy enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. But I did not choose you because you were enough. I chose you because I am the one who makes you enough. Just as Moses trembled and claimed he could not speak, but I placed my words in his mouth and set my people free. Just as Gideon hid in fear, yet I called him mighty warrior. For I did not see him through the lens of his limitations, but through the potential I myself placed within him. And you, my child, I am calling you not according to how you see yourself, but according to how I have defined you since before you were formed in the womb. I know your heart has been broken by rejection. Those you love turned their backs. The places where you sought safety became the source of your pain. But, my child, you no longer need to live by the approval of man. When you know that you have been affirmed by your heavenly Father, no one has the power to make you question your worth. You do not need to reach out begging for love, because you already have unshakable, eternal love in my embrace. As Jeremiah 31:3 says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, I have drawn you with loving kindness. That love does not depend on your performance. It does not increase when you succeed, nor does it decrease when you fail. It is unchanging. It is the solid foundation on which you can stand firm amid every shifting season. My beloved child, I am leading you out of the season of darkness, not merely so that you may walk into the light, but so that you may become the light. I do not simply want to rescue you from the shadows. I desire to send you to places where my light has never shone. You will no longer be one who merely survives, but a living vessel through whom life will flow to others. The wounds that once brought you pain will become healing oil for many. The stumbles that once brought you shame will now be a testimony to my great grace. For what the enemy intended to destroy you, I will transform into a tool to open doors for many souls. Nothing you have walked through is in vain. Nothing is wasted in my hands. You will see me move not in the noise of the world, but in the subtle shifts that only those with spiritual eyes can perceive. A door opening unexpectedly, a sudden conversation, a simple act on your part that turns out to be the key to something greater. Remain attuned, for I am whispering in the details that seem insignificant. Walk by faith, for I will widen the path one step at a time, with a full map, but with daily direction. And as you go forward, my confirmation will grow clearer, not with thunderous signs, but with a deep peace, the kind the world cannot give and cannot take away. My child, step out from the shadow of the past. Cast off the labels that others have placed on you. Cease comparing yourself and stop seeking worth through the eyes of others. I have given you a new name, a new destiny, a new season. The old has passed away. All things have become new. Receive this not with your reasoning, but by faith. For this is the beginning of a journey not of your own making, but of my divine leading, step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, until you fulfill what I have ordained from the very beginning. My beloved, I long to bring you deeper into the divine purpose I have written over your life. What you once thought was random has, in truth, been inscribed on the eternal pages of heaven. Every step you've taken, every choice you've made, every silent tear that fell, all of it has been seen. I am the one who beheld you before you even knew yourself, and I have been working behind the veil of your circumstances, preparing a destiny for you that no one can steal. Perhaps you have questioned, why must I endure so many trials? Why did that door slam shut? Why did that dream vanish? My child, nothing in your life is meaningless when placed in my hands. I never waste pain. I never squander a tear. I take every broken piece you offer, disappointments, wounds, past mistakes, and with hands full of grace, I piece them together into a masterpiece more glorious than anything you could imagine. You have lived in a season of waiting, a time when promises seemed delayed, dreams hidden, and my silence felt like absence. But my child, I have never forgotten. When you thought I was silent, I was designing. When you heard nothing, I was laying foundations. And when you couldn't see the next step, I was mapping out a path that no natural eye could comprehend. Every delay was not a rejection, but a formation, a shaping, so you would learn that your worth does not come from outcomes, but from knowing you are in the hands of the one who holds eternity. Just like Joseph in the scripture, sold by his brothers, unjustly imprisoned, forgotten in darkness, I used the very trials that seemed to bury him to lift him into leadership, where he became a source of salvation for a nation. So it is with you. What looked like failure has been my hidden passageway to place you precisely where my grace is ready to move. Do not judge your journey by your current circumstances. Do not let a change in the wind make you doubt the voyage. For I am at the helm, and your boat, even in the storm, will not sink when I am the one steering. My dear child, picture this: a seed buried in the soil, hidden, pressed down, unseen. And yet, in that very darkness, life is being activated. Roots begin to reach downward. A shoot begins to rise upward, and in due season, it bursts forth into bloom radiant and undeniable. No one sees the silent struggle beneath the surface, but the fruit reveals the journey. You, my child, are that seed. Though you may feel hidden, I am using the darkness to build depth. I am using the quiet to teach you how to hear my voice without being lost in the noise around you. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, you grow in me. Every time you choose to trust when everything feels unclear, you take a step deeper into spiritual maturity. Every small act of love, every uplifting word, every moment you restrain anger to choose humility, these are the seeds sprouting toward a harvest you never thought you deserved. And I am the one who never lets a season of sowing go to waste. Beloved, your harvest is drawing near. You may not see everything now, and that is by design, for if you saw it all, you would not need faith. But faith is the bridge that carries you from where you are to where the miraculous awaits. Faith is not a feeling, it is a choice. And when you choose to walk by faith, you are walking with me in a symphony of obedience, where every small step resounds in heaven as a song of praise. So do not despise the small days. Do not reject the refining process. Do not flee from the dark, but learn to see the light within it. For I am doing a new thing, a thing you have not seen before. And your season of waiting is not a pause, but the prelude to a glorious awakening. My child, listen carefully to what I am about to speak. For the season of breakthrough you have long awaited is no longer in the distant future. It is rising up within your present moment. I am opening doors you never even knew existed. I am directing your steps toward lands you never dared to hope for. Not because you are strong enough, not because you are good enough, but because I am faithful. What I have promised, I will fulfill. What I have begun, I will bring to completion. You once asked me, Lord, what must I do? Where should I begin? And now I say, begin with trust. Not trust based on feelings. Not trust when all is going well, but a deep, steadfast trust that stands firm in adversity. When Abraham was called by me to leave his homeland, not knowing where he was going, he did not ask for a map. He simply heard and obeyed. That faith made him the father of many nations. And likewise, I am calling you to walk not by sight, but by a heart anchored in absolute trust. Do not let what your eyes see cause you to retreat. Circumstances are not the final truth. My word is your unshakable foundation. You may see lack, but I say, you will never go hungry. You may feel weak, but I say, my power is made perfect in your weakness. You may be in the midst of battle, but I say, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, for I am the one who fights for you. These promises are not cliches. They are eternal covenants, sealed by the blood of my only Son, Jesus Christ, my beloved child. Understand this, the enemy is not attacking you because of your past, He is attacking you because of the future I have ordained for you. He trembles at what you will become when you fully step into the destiny I have designed. That is why he has sown doubt, bound you in guilt, and made you believe you are unworthy. But the truth is this: no one is worthy, only my grace is sufficient. What I desire from you is not perfection, but surrender. When you dare to surrender, when you release what you do not understand, you will receive what eye has not seen, ear has not heard, and no heart has imagined. I see the hidden corners of your heart that have yet to be healed. I see the old wounds that still smolder like a faint flamingo, strong enough to destroy, but not weak enough to die out. You have tried to bury them, to forget them, but I am the one who sees the depths of your soul. And today, I do not only want to lift you on the outside, but to heal you deeply from within. You do not have to be strong alone. You do not have to pretend that you are okay. Bring that wound to me. Cry on my shoulder, for in the depth of your weakness, my grace will cover you like the cloak of a father embracing his child returning from a long and wandering journey. In the days ahead, you will begin to notice small but unmistakable signs. Doors you thought were shut will suddenly open. An unexpected call will bring opportunity. An invitation will come from a place you never imagined. This is not luck. These are signs that my word is actively moving. I am rearranging the structure of your life, removing what is not from me, restoring what was lost, and setting you firmly on the rock of truth. You once thought you would always live in just enough as long as there was no lack. But I am the God of abundance. I do not want you merely to survive. I want you to thrive and become a vessel of blessing for others. You once confined me within the boundaries of logic, but I am not bound by reason or the limits of this world. I am the one who parts the seas, who brings water from rock, who multiplies bread and raises the dead. And if I did it before, I will do it again in your life. Now I call you to open your heart wide. Let go of the old frameworks. Allow me to break the limits you've unknowingly placed on yourself. Do not say, I can't. For I say, you can do all things through him who gives you strength. Do not say, I'm not good enough. For I chose you before the foundations of the world. Do not fix your eyes on the scars. Fix them on the one who heals. My beloved, prepare your heart, for what I am about to reveal will reshape how you see yourself, how you see me, and how you see the path you are walking. Too many times, you have looked in the mirror and seen only limitation, imperfection, weariness. But I have not seen you that way for a long time. From the moment you were in your mother's womb, my hand was upon your forehead. From your first cry, I have spoken your name in my heart. And through every stumble, every misstep, every weary night, I have not taken my eyes off you for a single moment. You think you are just an ordinary person, but I see a warrior anointed for battle. You thought you were lost, but I see a guide destined to lead others. You see limitation, but I see boundless potential when your hand is in mine. In my book, your name is not erased, it is engraved like fire into the palm of my hand. And today, I declare, it is time for you to see yourself through the lens of heaven. It is time for you to stop living like a beggar waiting for the mercy of man, and start living like a royal child walking in the authority of your Father. You no longer have to hide your faith, nor shrink back in the face of others' contempt. Remember, Jesus himself was rejected by his own people, but that rejection did not alter his mission. And likewise, The rejection you have endured holds no power to cancel the plans I have prepared for you. The mocking words cannot extinguish the divine call. The doors that once slammed in your face cannot stop your steps when I have already made a way. My child, let me tell you about Joseph, the one sold by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, then into prison. Everyone thought his story was over, but I used that very darkness to position him to save an entire nation. And now, I am doing the same with you. The failures you thought were endings are only the opening chapters of something greater. You will no longer be defined by what you've lost, but by what I am about to give. No one can steal from your hands what I have appointed for you. As long as you remain in me, I know you are weary. I know you have prayed until no words remain. I see you sitting silently in the middle of the night, sighing with nothing left to offer. But you are not alone. Your silence has not vanished into the void. It has reached my throne as the loudest cry. And I have heard you. I have counted every tear. Not one has been wasted. They are seeds sown in sorrow, and I will turn them into a harvest of joy. Now, I want you to prepare your heart. What I am about to do will not merely comfort you. It will transform you in ways that are real, tangible, undeniable. I will restore relationships you thought were lost. I will bring you into rooms you never believed you had the right to enter. I will enlarge your territory not to glorify you, but so that through you, my name will be glorified. People will ask, "Who did this for you?" And you will answer, simple yet glorious, "It was the Lord God, my beloved Father." Rise up, my child. It is time to stop allowing your mind to be shackled by invisible chains. Cast off every thought that says you are not enough, that it is too late, that you will always be left behind. Those are the whispers of the enemy, not my voice. I did not choose you because you were perfect. I chose you because I have a perfect plan for you. And if you continue to walk in obedience and faith, even if hell itself rises against you, it will not stop you from reaching the place I have ordained. My beloved, do not take your eyes off me now, for you are entering a defining moment in your journey of faith. There are things you cannot see with your natural eyes, but your spirit senses the shift already underway. I am carving out a path that no one else can open, and no one else can shut. When I speak, creation moves. When I act, no force can hinder me. And even now, my arm is reaching out to lift you from the dry places and set you upon heights you never imagined. My child, you have grown accustomed to the cycle of waiting, hoping, and then disappointment. But now I declare that cycle is broken. What once held you in delay, in doubt, in the spiral of the past, no longer has power over you. I am breathing new life into your spirit, a renewal that will awaken dreams you thought had died. You believed some things were over, that those chances had passed. But I am the one who resurrects what was dead, who makes the impossible possible. Lift your eyes. Do not let your vision be strangled by present circumstances. You have viewed everything through the lens of limitation. But now I want you to see through eyes of faith. When Abraham stood in the desert, there was no evidence that he would become the father of a nation as numerous as the stars. But he believed me, and that faith was credited to him as righteousness. So too, if you believe me despite what you see, I will do things beyond your comprehension. By faith, you will grasp what your eyes have never seen, but what heaven recorded before you were born. I know there are times you've asked why you had to endure so much pain. You've said to me, Lord, if you love me, why did you allow this to happen? But today I have come to reveal what you never understood. What you endured was not punishment, it was preparation. Every tear, every wound, every rejection has not been in vain. I have used each one to shape you into someone strong, deep, humble, and ready for something greater. There were seasons when I kept you hidden not because I forgot you, but because the time was not yet right. Just as Moses was nurtured in secrecy for 40 years before I sent him to deliver my people, so too have I shielded you from things you were not yet ready to face. But now, you are no longer a child in the faith. You have endured, you have grown, you have learned to hear my voice in the silence. And now I am calling you out, no more hiding. No more silence. I am calling you forth as a flame bearer, a voice, a messenger sent to shake the land I have entrusted to you. Do not look at what is lacking in your hands, for I do not call you based on what you possess, but based on what I have placed within you. Moses had only a staff, but I used it to part the Red Sea. David had only a sling, but I used it to bring down a giant. Gideon had only 300 men, but I gave him victory over tens of thousands. And you, though you may feel small, unknown, unqualified, I can, and I will, use you to accomplish mighty things in my kingdom. My child, the years you thought were wasted will become useful. The experiences you wish to forget will turn into treasures to help others. The silent battles you fought, unknown to anyone, will become testimonies that build thousands of lives. But here's what matters most. You must be willing to surrender everything to me, holding nothing back, hiding nothing, doubting nothing. Lay your dreams, your wounds, your past, and your future on the altar, and I will turn them into a song of victory. Listen to me, my child. The winds of change are stirring. It is no accident that your heart is trembling at this very moment. It is no coincidence that your soul feels a deep, unexplainable call. It is I, your Father, awakening your spirit, revealing truth, leading you to the threshold of a new season. Step in with bold faith. Lift your voice and answer me. And when you say, Father, I am ready, all of heaven will move to support you. My child, when I look upon your life, I see not only what you've walked through, but also the potential I planted in you before the foundations of the world. Before your parents ever knew you existed, I had already engraved your name on the palm of my hand. Before you spoke your first word, I had placed a deep calling within your spirit. No one can take away what I have ordained for you, not what they say, not what circumstances dictate. My plan is not canceled by your past. In fact, it is through the broken pieces of your life that I desire to begin my work. You think you need to have everything together before you can step into your calling. But I say to you, all you need is me. I am the all-sufficient one. I am the one who creates out of nothing. I do not require a perfect foundation to build something glorious. I only need a willing heart. When you give yourself to me, even in your weakness and lack, I can work miracles. What others see as obstacles, I will turn into instruments of my glory. That is why you must no longer look at yourself through the lens of failure, but through the eyes of the Creator, the one who has called you by name and declared, "You are mine." Remember, when I called Gideon, he was hiding in a cave, afraid and full of doubt. But I did not call him according to his current condition. I called him by his eternal identity, mighty warrior, in the same way. Though you may feel weary, small, and fragile, I look at you and proclaim, warrior of light. Rise up, not because you have strength of your own, but because I am your strength, not because you possess all wisdom, but because my wisdom lives within you, not because you know every path, but because I am the one who leads you, my beloved child. I did not promise that you would never face hardship. I promised that I would be with you. When you pass through the waters, they will not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire, it will not consume you. I am your shield, your strong tower in the storm. You have stood firm through the darkest days, not because you were strong, but because my hand never left you. And now, after all you have overcome, I say to you, this is the time to rise in my glory. No longer live under the shadow of failure. No longer let pain define your identity. No longer allow the words of others to distort the truth about who you are. Let my voice be the final word in your life. You may have been cast aside by others, labeled with names that were never yours: weak, failure, unworthy. But today, I erase every word, and I call you by the name I have etched in eternity before the dawn of creation: chosen one, bearer of light, anointed vessel. Do not let your past hold you back. Do not let negative words imprison your soul. You were created for freedom, to soar high, to lead others to the wellspring that never runs dry. Do you know this? What you have been through is not just for you. There are people only you can reach, hearts that only your story can touch. They are waiting for you to step out. They are waiting for the light in you to shine into their darkness. And I have already prepared everything you need, so you will not walk alone. My Spirit will be with you. My angels will guard you. My word will light your path. I will teach you how to walk, how to speak, when to be silent, and when to act. Everything you need has been given now. It waits for you to step out in faith. This is a divine moment. You are not here by accident. You are reading these words because heaven scheduled this encounter. Do not shrink back. Do not hesitate. If you know I am speaking to you, respond now. Open your mouth and say, Father, I believe, I am ready. Because when you say those words, a wave from heaven will be released. Delays will break. Doors once closed will open. Plans once stalled will be revived. Not by your strength, but by my limitless power. And remember, my child, you do not need to prove anything to the world. Only obey me. My glory will follow you. My peace will rest upon you. You will walk no longer in fear, no longer in doubt. For you know the one who calls you is faithful, and he will fulfill all that he has promised. You no longer need to look behind you. No more questioning why things happened the way they did. Look ahead, to where my light is leading you, into a new season, brimming with hope that awaits your arrival. Listen to me with all your heart, for this is a sacred turning point in your life, say a crossroads, where the past no longer holds the power to shape the future, and old limitations are being dismantled from your mind. Do not look back. Do not mourn what was lost. Do not dwell on what never came to pass. I have not called you to live in the shadows of failure or under the weight of past sin. I have forgiven you, cleansed you, and placed upon you a new garment, a new identity, and a new direction. You are no longer bound to the old self. You are a new creation in me, and soon you will see yourself as I have always seen you, in light, in grace, in unfading glory. Remember this: it was in your moment of breaking that I planted a seed of new life within you. That seed took root in tears, grew in solitude, and is about to bloom in the light of my presence. The enemy tried to bury you, but he did not realize you were a sacred seed, destined to rise from the dark soil and bear fruit for my kingdom. Do not fear the silence. Do not lose heart when others do not understand you. I am working even when you cannot see. I am clearing a path where you see only walls. I am springing forth streams where you perceive only desert. The dry days are ending, and the early rains of my grace are falling upon your life. Remember Joseph, the one betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. Yet not a single link in that chain of hardship was random. Every step he took, every wound he endured, I was part of the plan I had prepared to bring him to the highest place in Egypt and to rescue a nation. In the same way, what you have called delay, pain, or misdirection, I call process. I do not waste your tears. I do not ignore your groans in the night. All that you've endured will become instruments in my hands. You thought you were merely surviving, but in truth, you have been in training to reign. Do not despise the road you have walked, for it is that very road that will secure the throne I have prepared for your future. Even now, I speak to you. Prepare. Arise. Open the doors of your heart, for I am about to flood your life with a visitation unlike any before. The dreams you thought had died, I am reviving them. The promises you believed were forgotten, I am calling them by name once more. Doors once tightly shut are rattling in the spirit realm, waiting for the moment to swing wide open before you. But this is not for the skeptic. It is not for those who sit idly, waiting without action. It belongs to those who dare to believe, who dare to step out, who dare to declare, though the mountains be shaken and the seas roar, I still trust in my God. Endo, if you know you have been called, then do not wait for perfect conditions. It is when the contrary wind rises that I want you to raise the sails of faith. It is when the earth shakes that I want you to anchor your soul in my promise. I did not give you my word to hide in a drawer. I gave it as a sword. I placed my spirit within you, not to lie dormant, but to stir, to act, to proclaim what I have ordained. You are no longer a victim. You are an heir. You are no longer defined by rejection. You are chosen. You are no longer confined by limits. You are released to break through. My beloved child, I am calling you out of the safe zone. It is time to shed the old skin, the habits that hinder, the relationships that pull you from me, and the voices that make you forget who you are. I am calling you into a land your eyes have not seen, your ears have not heard, and your heart has not imagined a place where I will do great things through your life. But this requires absolute trust. It demands your willingness to let go. It calls you to step even when the path is not yet visible. Hold this truth close. I have never called anyone without providing. I have never sent anyone without going with them. I have never opened a way without first walking it myself. If I have spoken, I will also act. If I have promised, I will surely keep it. Not one word from my mouth falls to the ground in vain. And my word to you today is a word of life, of hope, of new beginning. This is your time to rise. This is your moment to declare, Father, I no longer wish to live small. I am ready to embrace the greatness you have prepared for me. Know this, child, you are not alone. Heaven is watching your faith. Angels are moving at the sound of your voice. And I, the Creator, the Eternal Father, the King of the universe, am declaring, step in. Do not fear. Do not delay. Do not turn back. For what I have begun, no force can stop. This is your hour. This is your harvest. And no one, no thing, no circumstance can take from you what I have ordained. You need only believe and I will do the rest. My child, know this. I have heard every whisper in your heart even before your lips could form the words. I have seen the weary look in your eyes as you searched for me. I have recorded every sigh, every slow step you've taken in the lonely darkness. Not a single movement of your soul is hidden from my eyes. I am not a distant God watching from afar. I am the close Father, the companion who walks with you, the one who reaches into the deepest corners of your spirit, even those parts you have yet to understand. Let your heart open wide to me in this very moment, for I am coming not only to comfort you, but to restore you, not just to wipe away your tears, but to renew your soul and breathe life into what has long seemed dead within you. Do you know why I allowed the silence to stretch so long? Because in the silence, your soul learns to stop chasing noise and begins to hear my voice. It is in seasons of lack, not abundance, that you learn to walk by faith and not by feelings. I have allowed what seemed unjust to take place not to break you, but to forge you into strength. Hard seasons do not come to crush you, but to reveal the hidden treasure within you, a spirit that does not yield, a heart that remains humble, a faith that cannot be shaken. Do not underestimate yourself. You are stronger than you think, and the reason you have not fallen is not luck, it is because my hand has held you upright all along. I know there have been moments you wondered if I had forgotten you, but I never have. When you thought I was silent, I was busy forging weapons for you. When every door seemed to shut, I was building a path designed solely for you, one no one else can walk. What you've seen as loss, I call restructuring. What you've believed to be the end, I see as a beginning. Where you see a pit, I see a foundation. Where you see a dead end, I see the verge of breakthrough. For my thoughts are higher than yours, and my ways are beyond human understanding. Stop trying to reason everything out. Instead, lift up your trust to Mephor. You are about to see wonders that your eyes have never witnessed. My child, prepare your heart and mind to receive a new level of guidance. I do not only want to bring you out of darkness, I want to lead you into the light with full awareness of who you are in my eyes. You are not merely a survivor, buta conqueror, not only forgiven, but anointed for your calling. There is no more time for retreating into familiarity, no more room for hesitation or delay. You've come too far to turn back now. The door behind you is closed by my will, so there is no path backward, only forward into the promised land. And that land is not just a physical place, but a spiritual position where you stand boldly in declaration, walk courageously in action, and live in complete alignment with my will. I am placing within you a new sensitivity. You will no longer be deceived by appearances. You will no longer be swayed by the chaos of surrounding voices. I am giving you spiritual ears to discern what is truly from me and what is a counterfeit echo. You will not have to run to others for validation, for I myself will affirm you with the seal of heaven. I will bring you before doors that no one can close. I will bring you before people who once seemed unreachable, not for your glory, but for mine, not to build your name, but to shine my light in places that hunger for truth. I chose you because I trust you. I have trained you because I have great plans for you. My beloved, keep your heart pure. Walk uprightly and trust fully in my timing. Everything you've gone through is serving a purpose. Not one tear has been wasted. Not one wound is in vain. Just as David endured the cave before the crown, just as Esther had to hide her identity before saving a nation, you too are being prepared for a moment that will shift history for you and for those connected to your destiny. You are not living for yourself alone. Generations are waiting for you to take your place. Prayers from those who came before you are propelling you forward. A cloud of witnesses is rejoicing as you continue to press on. So do not lose heart. When the trial intensifies, it means visitation is drawing near. When the storm rages harder, it means you are nearing shore. When the enemy rises in fury, it means the kingdom of darkness trembles at what I am about to do through you. Stand firm, resolute, for dawn is breaking, and my righteousness is rising like the morning light to illuminate your path. Nothing can stop what I have begun. And you are the vessel I have chosen to carry my light into this generation. Do not turn back. Do not doubt, for I am with you in every step, and my glory will be revealed through you. My child, when I see you walking through the wilderness of unfulfilled dreams, I do not see someone lost. I see a warrior learning to grasp the promise in the desert. I was there when you questioned, when the prophecies once spoken over your life seemed to vanish in the winds of reality. I heard the cry of your heart in the stillness of the night. Father, are you still there? And I answered not with thunder, but with the gentle breath of my presence in your peaceful sleep. In every moment you were sustained when you didn't even know how you were still standing. Believe this, my child, every time you thought nothing was happening, heaven was moving mightily to align every detail for the day of your unveiling. No season of your life has been wasted. The barren years that brought you pain, the misunderstandings and rejections all have been part of a spiritual training I allowed, to teach you not only to trust me for what I do, but to trust me simply for who I am. For when you have learned to love me not for the miracles, but for my presence alone, you have entered a depth few are willing to pay the price to reach. You have fallen, yes, but you have not been destroyed. You have been abandoned by some, but you have never been forgotten by me. At times you mistook delay for failure, but it was truly grace at work shielding you from burdens you were not yet ready to carry. You may not see it clearly now, but the day will come when every piece will fall into place, and you will look up and say, Father, thank you for not giving me what I asked for, but giving me what I truly needed. Then, my beloved child, be watchful in these days, for a season of transition is upon you. I am shaking everything that does not belong to the foundation I have laid within you. Friends, opportunities, even habits you once cherished, if they do not align with the sacred purpose I've placed in your life, they will fall away. Do not cling to what I am removing. Do not rebuild what I have torn down. Some things were necessary in the last season, but they will only weigh you down in the one to come. I love you too much to let you carry what would delay you. Learn to release not only what is harmful, but even what is good if it is no longer timely. For not every open door is opened by me, and not every round of applause is my approval. You need spiritual eyes to discern what is a test from me and what is a trap cloaked in false light. When you learn to walk according to my voice, rather than the affirmation of people, you will enter a new level of spiritual freedom. You will no longer be tossed by circumstances. You will no longer measure your worth by what you possess, but by the one who made you and called you before the foundation of the world. Your identity is not rooted in human blood, but in the innocent blood shed for you on the cross. Because of him, you can stand before me uncondemned, unafraid, and because of that, you no longer need to seek validation from others. You are already accepted by me. I know you've been hurt by those who couldn't see your worth, but I have never been blind to the beauty of your soul. I saw your courage when you stood alone. I saw your faithfulness when no one acknowledged it. I saw you choose forgiveness when you had every right to resent. And those hidden moments moved heaven more than any public song or prayer. My child, I know you're not perfect. I know you've doubted, stumbled, fallen, but it is in your weakness that my power is made perfect. I do not need you to be strong to use you. I need you to be surrendered. And now I say to you, rise up, for a new chapter is about to begin. Do not bring old mindsets into this new season. Do not let memories of past failure keep you from stepping into promise. You are no longer the one rejected. You are the one chosen. You are no longer a victim. You are a victor. You are no longer confined by yesterday's shadow. You are being led into the radiant light of tomorrow. Foriam Yehovah Nissi, your banner of victory, and in my name, every force that stands against you shall be scattered. Keep your heart pure. Listen for the voice of the Holy Spirit. Let me lead you one step at a time. I am not only the one who begins, I am the one who completes. What I have started in your life, I will bring to a glorious finish. Do not look to man. Do not be shaken by the news. Do not doubt because of circumstances. Lift your eyes to where your help comes from, for your help comes from me, the maker of heaven and earth. And no word I have spoken will return void. My child, when your heart has quieted and your ears are open to hear, know this. This moment is not just a fleeting point in earthly time. It is an hour appointed from before the foundation of the world for your soul to enter the promised land. Not a land of brick and stone, but a place of fulfillment, where every word I have spoken over you will begin to blossom and bear fruit. But to enter, you cannot bring with you what once bound you. You cannot drag along dried-up relationships, dreams not born of me, or the habits that once caused you to turn away from my voice. I am calling you out of dependency. I am drawing you out of your comfort zone. For the promised land is not found in the arms of familiarity, it is found in the depths of faith, where you have nothing to hold on to but my word. Do you remember the Israelites? They were freed from Egypt by my mighty hand. Yet their hearts were still shackled to memories of bondage. They saw the Red Sea part, ate manna from heaven, yet still complained as though I was not good. And because of that, an entire generation missed the promise simply because they would not trust me fully. I remind you of this not to frighten you, but to awaken you. If you keep looking back, you will miss what is opening before you. If you keep longing for what I have shut, you will fail to recognize the doors now standing wide. You cannot follow my call while clinging to past seasons. It is time to let go. It is time to move forward. I know you're tired. I know the journey has worn you down. The silent sacrifices, the prayers unanswered, the tears seen only by Menonavit has been wasted. I have used every circumstance, every delay, every loss to soften your heart, uproot what was not of me, and awaken in you a hunger meant only for me. Do you realize it was your brokenness that opened the way for me to enter? The voids no one else could fill became my dwelling place. And because you had nowhere else to run, you ran to Methe, only door that never closes. My child, I am bringing you to a place where the enemy cannot reach. I am placing you in a spiritual realm where provision does not come from the hands of men, but from the endless treasury of heaven. What I am about to release into your life will defy explanation. The doors will open not by effort, not by connections, but by sheer grace. Then you will understand what it means, not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord, Zechariah 4-6. And in that moment, you will no longer doubt your worth, for you will see that I did not choose you because you were strong, but because you knew you were weak. You will learn what many refuse to accept, that my power moves best in vessels willing to be broken, so my light may shine through. My beloved child, do not let what your eyes see overshadow your faith. In the days to come, there will be things that happen which you will not understand. There may be upheaval, surprises, even misunderstandings, but keep your heart steadfast. Do not rush to explain or analyze, for there are things that will only become clear in the time I have appointed. If you judge too quickly in the middle of the process, you may miss the beauty of the ending. Remember, I am the Lord God who is not bound by time. Everything I do is perfectly timed, not delayed, not rushed. When you walk with me, you are moving according to a divine schedule that was set in motion long before you knew it. Right now, I am calling you to prepare not only through outward action, but by readying your heart. Cleanse your mind from bitterness. Allow me to heal the lingering wounds that have never been touched. Let go of comparison, of insecurity, of the quiet doubt that says, "You're not enough." For I have seen it all, and I still call you enough. You don't need to earn more. Love, it is already yours. My love for you doesn't come from your actions, but from my unchanging nature, and that very love will complete what you cannot finish on your own. Surrender to me every expectation. Let me rewrite the chapters you once wished to tear out. Let me remove the garments you've worn to hide your pain, and clothe you instead with the robe of glory I've woven for you. You no longer need to live in the shadow of yesterday. You have been redeemed by innocent blood, and now is the time to live as one who has been set free. My beloved, now I lead you into a season where revelation is no longer distant, but becomes the daily rhythm of your spirit. You no longer need to search for me in vague signs, for I am revealing myself as clearly as the morning light that scatters the night. From now on, I want you to learn to live from my presence, no just hoping for what might happen, but living as if what I promised is already reality. For in the realm of the Spirit, it is finished. The blessing is no longer potential. It is flowing into reality through your obedience. Do not wait for visible signs before you believe, for true faith walks when it sees nothing, and trusts when all is silent. And my child, That kind of faith is shaking the gates of heaven. You have walked through long, seemingly hopeless days without affirmation, without answers, without a hand reaching down to lift you. But it was in that very silence that I taught you to hear my whisper, not with your ears, but with your heart. And while the world overlooked you, I paid attention to the smallest stirrings of your soul. No one saw you stumble, but I did. No one heard your sobs in the dark, but I heard. And now, I am using those very moments to birth new life in you, a faith that cannot be shaken, a reverence that cannot be destroyed, a love that cannot be extinguished. This is no longer the time for you to only ask things of me, but to walk alongside me to see what I desire brought forth through you. Child, you are not only a recipient, you are a carrier. There is a burden of glory resting on your shoulders, not to weigh you down, but to honor you with something not all are given. For before I release authority, I test the heart. Before I expand influence, I watch how one carries the hidden places, and you have not disappointed me. You chose the humble road over pride. You waited in the silence instead of seeking shortcuts. And because of this, I am now lifting you not by your own strength, but by my hand, just as I did with Joseph, who was forgotten in a prison but lifted in a single night to become part of a redemption plan. So I am preparing to raise you in a way no one expects. I do not say this to flatter your emotions, but to etch into your spirit that you are standing at a divine crossroads. If you continue to follow my voice, you will not only witness transformation in your life, but the very regions around you will begin to shift. I am placing on your lips the fire of life. Every word you speak under my guidance will break darkness, set captives free, and swing open the doors of liberty. You will no longer speak with human wisdom, but with my own words. I will place my voice on your tongue, just as I did with the prophet Jeremiah. Behold, I have put my words in your mouth. See, today I appoint you over nations and kingdoms to uproot and tear down, to destroy and overthrow, to build and to plant. Jeremiah 1:9, my precious child. From this moment on, every small act carries eternal weight. A quiet prayer, a hidden act of love, a decision to reject what is not of me, all are being recorded. I overlook nothing. That is why each step you take now matters more than ever. There is no room for carelessness in this season. No more time for half-hearted decisions. This is the time for decisive steps taken in discipline and reverence. Do not let the noise of the world drown out my voice. Do not let the praise or criticism of others steer your course. I am the one who sends you, and only I have the right to direct your path. Be at peace, for I do not only point the way I go before you, I am the one who formed you, who knows every beat of your heart, and who has given you a destiny no one can steal. What I have ordained, no power can stop. What I have begun, I will complete. And if you keep your heart steadfast, your eyes fixed on me, you will see my faithfulness stand unshaken. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my plans for you greater than anything you have imagined. Walk forward in faith, for what is coming will bring you to your knees in awe and gratitude, not because you earned it, but because I love you far too deeply to let you live confined by fear and disappointment. My beloved child, I want you to understand clearly that what is happening around you is not by chance. These are all part of the divine orchestration I set in motion long before you were born. I have placed every detail, every encounter, every turning point to shape your spirit, refine your faith, and lead you to the place where full revelation can be made known. I am not only concerned with what you are going through, but with the ultimate purpose for which you were created. And in this very moment, that purpose is beginning to unfold before your eyes. In this process of preparation, there will be steps backward that may seem like failure. But in truth, they are my way of pulling you away from things that do not align with my will. Closed doors, people who walked away, lost opportunities. These are all my protection, keeping you from straying off the path I've ordained for you. Do not mourn what is past. Do not grieve what I have removed. For if something belongs to you within my will, no power can take it away. And if something no longer remains, it simply does not serve the destiny I'm leading you into. Like a potter shaping clay, I have pressed my hands upon your soul, removing impurities, smoothing out imperfections, so that now I may pour my presence and purpose fully into you. I see the hidden worries in your heart, fears you haven't dared to speak aloud. The fear of failure, the anxiety about the future, the doubt about yourself. But I am the one who formed your spirit, and I did not make a mistake when I chose you. You were not chosen because you were perfect, but because I can display my perfection through your weakness. Know this, you are not sent because you are strong, but because I desire to reveal my power through what seems small and unknown. Just as I used Moses, a man with faltering speech, to speak before kings, just as I used a shepherd boy to slay a giant, so too, I am using you. Even though you may think you are nothing, you were not chosen because you were worthy, but because my heart loves you unconditionally. So take heart and walk forward boldly. Do not let the words of others shake your faith. Do not let delays erode your hope. I am the keeper of time, and my timing is always the best. When I do not respond, it does not mean I do not hear. When everything is still, it does not mean I am not moving. It is in the silence that I am arranging things your eyes have not yet seen. Do not retreat from the battle just because the victory is not yet visible. Do not stop halfway because a storm is rising. Remember, beyond every storm lies the brilliance of the sun, and I, the light, will illuminate the path before you until the day of fulfillment. Listen closely. My child, a new season is opening before you, one unlike anything you've known. It is a season where I will reclaim what the enemy has stolen from your life. I will restore the years consumed by pain, delay, and disappointment. You have walked through darkness, wandered across barren fields, and asked yourself more than once if it was worth continuing. But today, I declare every act of faithfulness, every silent prayer, every small deed done in my name, all have been remembered, and I will reward them. Not a single tear you've shed was wasted, for I have kept them in my flask. They are living proof that you continued to believe when no one saw, no one understood, and no one acknowledged. But I saw, I understood, and I am repaying. I know there are wounds you haven't yet dared to name, promises you've thought were forgotten. You have looked at others and believed I was closer to them, that blessings belonged only to the strong or the worthy. But my child, I do not measure the heart by the standards of this world. I look straight to the koretu, the humble heart, to the soul wholly dependent on me. And you, the one who seemed weak, the one the world overlooked, you are the very vessel through which I will do wonders. For it is in jars of clay that I reveal the most radiant glory of heaven. In the days to come, you will witness a shift not only in your surroundings, but within your very spirit. I am placing in your heart a new hunger, not for quick answers, but for my living presence. You will no longer be satisfied with the superficial or comforted by what is temporary. Your soul will burn for what is real, eternal, and supernatural, and that is me. I will teach you to distinguish my voice among the many others. I will teach you to walk not just by faith, but by intimacy, not blind faith, but faith rooted in deep knowing of my heart. You will see me open doors you never imagined. Unexpected connections will come at just the right time. Strangers will become instruments in my hand to fulfill my purpose in your life. I will send provision from places you did not prepare for, and the resources you thought you lacked will suddenly overflow. Not so you may boast, but so the world will know that I, your Lord, am the provider, the promise keeper, and the one who never abandons those who trust in me. But remember this, the closer you get to glory, the louder the enemy will scream. He knows his time over your life is ending, and he will try to convince you that nothing is changing. He will whisper doubts into your ears. He will bring back old memories, old wounds, old weariness to turn you back. But stand firm, for I have equipped you with every weapon you need. Within you is the Holy Spirit, greater than any force outside of you. Within you is truth, my unchanging promise. Within you is light, and the darkness cannot overcome the light. Open your mouth and declare your faith. Remind the enemy that you no longer walk alone, that you are no longer the weak one you once thought you were, for I myself am walking with you. And now, I want you to prepare your spirit for the acceleration that is coming. Every promise will not only be fulfilled, but accelerated. What you thought would take years will unfold in weeks. What seemed like a long process will suddenly strike like lightning, but your heart's preparation will determine how much I can pour out. I do not want miracles to come and be lost because your heart wasn't ready to carry them. So allow me to reshape your thinking, purify your motives, and expand your heart. Because when the glory comes, you must stand firm to carry it, not be shaken by it. Make room in your soul, so I may fill it with life. Let go of the old, the limiting thoughts, the relationships that were never from me. Say to me, Father, break down everything that is not of you, and build within me what you desire. When you do this, you will see me enter the inner space of your being more deeply than ever before. I will unveil depths of revelation you've never known. I will show you not only who you are in my eyes, but also the grand design in which you are a vital part. For time is short, and you are called not just to survive, but to conquer, not merely to exist, but to overcome, not only to receive, but to become a river that pours out blessing to many. This is the season of your equipping, your sending, and your rising. I have not forgotten you. I have not abandoned you. I have never left your side. Every promise I have spoken, I will fulfill. You need only one thing. Keep your heart steadfast. For the time of your anointing has come, my child. In this very moment, when it seems as though all is still upon the earth, I am moving powerfully in the unseen realm. Do not be deceived by the silence, For when the ground falls quiet, heaven roars into motion. I am dispatching angels to the appointed places. I am reopening closed files. I am drawing the boundary between what is rightfully yours and what the enemy has stolen. Not a single detail of your life has been forgotten. Not one tear has escaped my remembrance. I am a loving Father, and I am also a righteous judge. And now, I rise to establish justice on your behalf. You once believed that some things were over, that there were matters you had to release and never speak of again. But I, the Lord Jehovah, am the one who restores what has decayed. I bring forth new life from ashes. I open doors when every path seems closed. I saw you collapse in the night, clutching your chest in silent pain. I saw the emptiness in your eyes at each piece of bad news. Each reaction, each time they turned away. And in my heart, I declared, I will restore you. I will breathe life into what seemed dead. Just as I called Lazarus from the tomb, I am now calling forth what has been buried in your life into the light of day. My child, I am not distant. I am not silent when you suffer. It was I who walked with you through each valley. I stood beside your bed when you could not sleep. I cradled your head when you lacked the strength to pray. And now, I come not to remind you of the past, but to proclaim a new beginning. A season has ended. A chapter has closed. And if you cling to what is behind, you will miss what I am beginning. For I am the one who makes all things new. What I am preparing surpasses your expectations. And what you are about to enter will cause you to forget yesterday's tears. Open your heart to the transformation I am bringing. Do not resist it. Do not fear the shaking. For I am not merely adjusting, I am recreating. I am not just healing old wounds, I am placing a new heart within you. You are no longer who you once were. Pain no longer has the power to imprison you. The accusations that once weighed down your soul have been erased by the blood of the Lamb, and no one nano force can rewrite the verdict I have sealed with forgiveness. In the days ahead, you will witness how those who once wounded you are quietly removed from your path, not because I hate them, but because I am shielding you from voices that mislead. Sudden disconnections are not signs of lack, but acts of my loving intervention. You need not cling to anyone to feel loved for. My love is more than enough. I will bring new people into your life, those who carry my spirit, those who will see you with spiritual eyes, not through gossip or appearances. My child, focus your heart on me, and you will see what others cannot. I will grant you wisdom beyond your years, understanding beyond your circumstance. Your dreams will not just be memories, but prophetic visions. You will sense my spirit's whispers in moments that seem ordinary. And through this, you will know that I am always near, not a vague belief, but a living presence. Keep your heart pure. As I clear the way for you to step into fulfillment, the enemy is also planning distractions. He will present doors that appear good but are not from me. He will tempt you with comfort that will cost your soul. So seek me before entering anything. Let me confirm. Let me place my seal upon each decision. For not every invitation is a blessing. Some things sparkle only to lead you astray. But if you fix your eyes on me, nothing will cause you to fall. My child, I am granting you a season of grace. Use it not to fear the future, but to know my heart. For your future rests in my hands, the very hands that were pierced to redeem you. And those same hands are opening the way for you to walk into glory. You are not forgotten. You are not left behind. You are exactly where I need you to be so that from this place, I may lift you and place you in the center of the divine plan I wrote for you before the beginning of time. Prepare yourself. A new stream is breaking forth. A full restoration is beginning. And every word I have spoken will come to pass. None will fall to the ground. You will rise not as one who carries burdens, but as one who carries fire. You will walk not stumbling in the dark, but in the clear light of your heavenly Father's guidance. Be steadfast, for this is the hour I have chosen to speak. And I do not speak without fulfilling what I declare. Now, my child, when I set my eyes upon you, it is not the distant glance of a far-off sovereign, but the tender gaze of a father who has never stopped watching his beloved. From the moment you were in your mother's womb, I knew each of your breaths, each brief cry, each curious glance at the world, and even every time you withdrew in shame and silence. I am not merely watching from afar. I am present in every moment of your life, through radiant springs and through the coldest nights of the soul. There is not a single instant when I am not near. And now, as you turn your eyes toward me, I am smiling tenderly and saying, the time has come for you to step into the complete restoration I have prepared. You once believed you were not good enough to receive the treasures from my hand. You allowed old pain and guilt to obscure the light of hope within your heart. But I say to you, it is precisely that weakness which makes my grace complete. It is in your most helpless moments that I made you strongest. You don't need me when you are perfect, you need me when you are broken. Remember, it is in that very brokenness that I will build something far greater. Do not define yourself by your mistakes. Do not let the voices of the past chain your present vision. Allow me to rewrite your story, not with tears, but with the joy of redemption. Can you see it? Everything is shifting, not just outwardly, but deep within your soul. A quiet yet profound transformation is taking place. You're becoming more sensitive to spiritual things. What you once ignored now stirs your heart. What seemed like insignificant signs now awaken a longing to discover more. This is not by chance. My child, this is because I am awakening what I planted in you from the very beginning. The sacred seed has always been there, and now is the season for it to sprout, to rise, and to bear fruit. I never forget what I sow, and I never let a single promise pass by in vain. The time has come for you to harvest what once lived only as silent longing within. Lift your eyes, do not look down at your feet. If you fixate on your circumstances, you'll see only doubt. If you look to people, you'll see limitation. But if you look up to me, you'll see a wider picture, one where all things are turning for your good. I am never late. I have not forgotten. I am not disrupted by earthly chaos. I am the one who holds time and determines destinies. And I have appointed in the history of your life a moment of unstoppable restoration, and that moment is now unfolding before you. Do not doubt. Do not delay. Do not let the old delay your steps into the new. I will take you places you've never dreamed of, not because of your merit, but because I have chosen you to bear witness to my faithfulness. I will lead you through doors that once seemed locked tight. I will connect you with those I have prepared, ones who carry the answers to prayers you've long lifted up. You don't need to control everything. You only need to walk in obedience. And when you do, I will do the rest not by earthly strength, but by power from heaven. I will shake what cannot be shaken. I will calm storms that once seemed endless. For you are my child, and I am the unchanging one. There may be things you'll need to let go of on this journey. There may be moments of loneliness when I remove attachments that no longer serve you. But trust me, what I remove is to make way for what is better. What you surrender for, my sake, will be returned to you manifold. And most of all, you will receive me not as a distant concept, but as a close Father, ever present, ever speaking, ever moving. I am not only the place you run to in crisis, I am your eternal refuge, your peace in the storm, the light that never goes out. My beloved, if you knew how much I love you, you would never doubt again. My love is unlike anything the world has ever known. It is not based on fleeting emotions. It does not withdraw when you stumble. It does not fade with time. This love was proven on the cross, sealed in blood, and continues to flow daily through your life. I will not leave you alone. I will not let you be lost. And I will not allow your blessing to fall into another's hands. Now is the time for all things to be set right. Now is the time for you to walk into fullness. So, let your heart be steadfast. Walk in faith. Let your soul be led by heavenly wisdom. Remember, every word I have spoken will not return void. The beginning of a new season is stirring in every breath, and my presence is covering your life like glory cloud upon the temple. Keep walking, for you are drawing near to fulfillment. My child, as you reach the end of this message, do not close it with a fleeting emotion, but with a sacred call, sealed from heaven. This is not just the end of a declaration, it is the beginning of a new journey, a path where you walk no longer in shadows, but in light led by me. Everything I have shown you, every word, every vision, every instruction was not meant to inspire temporarily, but to change your destiny forever. Therefore, receive it all with unwavering faith, with a ready spirit, and with one decisive response. Follow me wholeheartedly. You will no longer be who you once were. The signs you see are not coincidences. The whispers in your spirit are not fleeting emotions. It is I who am speaking. It is I who am guiding. It is I who am calling you out of darkness into light. No more uncertainty. No more wavering steps. No more nights wondering, Lord, is it really you speaking? For now, you know, that voice, it is me, and I do not speak without acting. I do not send a word without a harvest to follow. My child, there were seasons when you thought I was silent. You felt abandoned, forgotten, lost in the chaos of the world. But what you didn't know was that it was in that very silence I was building. I was writing. I was shifting things no one could see. There were nights when you wept, thinking no one heard. But I heard. I gathered every tear into my bottle. And today, you are standing at the threshold where the waiting ends and the breakthrough begins. If only you could see what I am unfolding ahead of you. Fear would flee from your heart. If you could see the light of the plans I have prepared, you would begin to praise even in the desert. My child, do not look back. What has passed no longer holds power over you. The mistakes, the failures, the seasons you thought were wasted, every one of them has been used by me as raw material for a season of abundance. Nothing is wasted in my hands. No season is without meaning. I turn the darkest night into the backdrop for the dawn. I turn wounds into doors for healing, and I am doing the same with your life. Do not let shame keep you still. Do not let the voice of the enemy deceive you one more time. the one who tried to hide what belongs to you, who tried to block your way to me, no longer has authority. The blood of the Lamb has sealed the blessing over your life, and no one can take from you what I have given. I know you're afraid. I know that what I've spoken seems far too great for your reach, but you were never meant to walk by your own strength. You were called to walk by faith, to be led by the Spirit, to live in the assurance that your Father never breaks a promise. Do not look at your own limits, look at my faithfulness. I am the one who parted the Red Sea. I am the one who rained manna in the wilderness. I made the lame walk, the blind see, and the dead rise. Do you think I cannot restore what has been hidden from you? I can, and I am doing it even now, layer by layer, step by step, day by day. You are moving closer to the fullness of what I have promised. My child, you have not only been saved, you have been sent. You have not only been restored, you have been empowered. What I have placed in you is not meant for you alone. It is meant to shine as light for those around you. In this season, you will see influence ripple from your life. Those who once doubted will begin to ask about the source of your hope. Those who once dismissed you will return seeking wisdom through you. And you will not speak empty words. You will speak from the depth of a life touched by heaven. I, myself, will put words in your mouth. I, myself, will set fire in your heart. And I will give you power to do what no one believed you could. My child, remember, what I speak today is not to stir momentary emotion only to be forgotten tomorrow. This is covenant. This is proof of my love for you, unchanging, irrevocable, unconditional. From this day on, if you ever doubt, come back and read what I have spoken. If you grow weary, let these words lift your soul. If you forget the truth, let my voice knock again at the door of your heart. I never take back my word. Every promise I have made will be fulfilled every line, every detail, every moment without fail. My child, let your heart overflow with hope, not a fragile hope, but a certain anchored in the firm foundation of me. Your waiting has not been in vain. Your tears have not been forgotten. Your perseverance has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has recorded it all. And now, release is flowing, restoration is unfolding, and recompense is being poured out. My beloved one, you will be the one who reaps the harvest sown by my own hands. Go now. Step forward with courage, for I go before you. And when I go before you, nothing can stand in your way. Remember, I am the Lord your God, and my word will never return void. Thank you for listening to today's message. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we can continue to receive the living word together. Build an unshakable faith and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.